مهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أشهد أنه بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الله به الغمة وتركنا على المحجة البيضاء ليلها كنهارها لا يزيغ عنها إلا هالك يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون أما بعد عباد الله. Dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, in this khutbah inshallah ta'ala, in this very short khutbah, we'll talk about Surah Yusuf alayhi salam, Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, and we will go through Surah Yusuf inshallah ta'ala. We will talk about the surah based on the context of the surah. ما يسمى بسياق القصة. We're not going to explain every single ayah of the surah, obviously, because the surah is a lot of pages. But inshallah ta'ala, we will speak on the surah on behalf, on the context of the surah, inshallah ta'ala, or on the theme of the surah, the موضوع التفسيري, التفسير الموضوعي لهذه السورة, inshallah ta'ala. This surah, brothers and sisters, started with a story of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. A little boy woke up in the middle of the night. So the depiction and the image we have in our mind is a little boy who is in sleep in the middle of the night. He wakes up and he has a dream. And the first action he does is he goes to his father, he goes to his dad. I want you to imagine the connection that he has with his father. And I also want you to imagine and imagine and see the vision. I want you to have the vision and the scenery and see the place. The father is obviously is awake. So he goes to his dad. إذ قال يوسف لأبيه يا أبتي إني رأيت أحد عشر كوكبا والشمس والقمر رأيتهم لي ساجدين. He started with the word Ya Abati. The word Ya Abati doesn't mean Ya Abi. Ya Abi is my father. But Ya Abati doesn't mean my father. It means my beloved father. And this in itself, it shows you the connection, the deep connection that this little son has with his father. And now, he says, Inni, I am. Ra'aytu, I seen. And the ta at the end is also talking about Yusuf. He repeated himself, because that's how little boys talk. I saw it, they repeat themselves. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to capture the scene and see how the boy is talking to his father. And also I want you to imagine that the father is listening. He's not asking him, go back to sleep. It's in the middle of the night. He's listening. And he said, I saw أحد عشر كوكبا. I saw 11 stars. والشمس, and I saw the sun. والقمر, and the moon. That would have been suffice. I saw them, and what they doing? Sajidin. They were making sujood for me. That would have been enough. But he said, Li, for me, because he couldn't believe that they are making sujood for the little son. Li sajidin. I saw them making sujood for me. But some ulama said, he said Li because the father said, what did you see? Tell me about it. And then he repeated himself. He said, Li, for me. They were making sujood for me. Ikhwani fillah, what was the first reaction of Yaqub alayhi salam when his little son, Yusuf alayhi salam, told him about the dream he had? He said, يا بني لا تقصص رؤياك على إخوتك فيكيدوا لك كيدا إن الشيطان للإنسان عدو مبين. He said, my son. Again, he didn't say, ya ibni. He didn't say my son. Because in Arabic, you add something called ya'ul idafa. You will say, this is my son, my ibni, abi, akhi. You always add ya, saying that this is my son, this is my father. But he said, ya bunayya, my beloved son. The same tone that the son was using with his father. He said, لا تقصص رؤياك على إخوتك. Do not tell your dream about your brothers. Because the first reaction of a father is he worries for his kids. That's the first reaction of a father. He said, لا تقصص رؤياك على إخوتك. Do not tell your dream your brothers. فيكيدوا لك كيدا إن الشيطان للإنسان عدو مبين. So they will plot against you and they will harm you at the end of the day. So don't tell your story. Don't tell them. Ikhwani fillah, long story short, we see in this surah two people that are going through a lot of problems and trial and tribulations and difficulties. And they are Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam and Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam. So the son is going through a lot, the father is going through a lot. So now we realize that in this life, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala were to test Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, who's better than you and I, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is testing Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam, you will also be tested in this life. Nobody is immune. Nobody is safe from trial and problems. That is the theme of the surah. So basically, the surah is talking about how to deal with depression, how to deal with anxiety. But in our age and era, our time, it is taboo for you to say, I have depression, I have anxiety. Mental problems is a real thing in this world. People have mental problems, but yet we shut them off. Don't talk about it. Don't mention it. Don't say it. But in the surah, we see that at the end of the surah, Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam saying, إِنَّمَا أَشْكُو بَثِّي وَحُزْنِي إِلَى اللَّهِ وَأَعْلَمُ مِنَ اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُ. I say my sorrows and my problems to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I know, وَأَعْلَمُ مِنَ اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُ. And I know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I know from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala something that you don't know. What does he know? He knows that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the end of the day, He is the one who will solve your problems. That's what he knows for sure, 100%. Now, ikhwani fillah, even though Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam told his son to conceal his dream and don't tell about it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also had his plans. The brothers plotted against the little son, and they took him after a long conversation with their dad, and they came back without Yusuf alayhi salam. And now they came back acting that the son was eaten by a wolf. وَجَاءُوا أَبَاهُمْ عِشَاءً يَبْكُونَ. They came in the night. يَبْكُونَ. They were crying. وَجَاءُوا عَلَى قَمِيصِهِ بِدَمٍ كَذِبٍ قَالَ بَلْ سَوَّرَتْ لَكُمْ أَنفُسُكُمْ أَمْرًا فَصَبْرٌ جَمِيلٌ وَاللَّهُ الْمُسْتَعَانُ عَلَى مَا تَصِفُونَ. He said, I say my sorrows to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَصَبْرٌ جَمِيلٌ. Ikhwani fillah, little Yusuf, they took out his shirt and they put him in a well. Imagine little son with no clothes on, and they put him inside a well by himself in the middle of the night. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also had his plans. The son was saved, and alhamdulillah ta'ala was taken by Egypt. Now, Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam in the third page of the surah, he goes through another problem. The wife of the king was trying to seduce him. She was doing seduction on him, trying to have him sleep with him. Imagine a wife of a king. She must be the most beautiful wife because she's the wife of the king. And imagine about Yusuf alayhi salam, who was a very handsome man. He was given the beauty of a half of the creation, not the people, the half of the creation. Because the Prophet ﷺ said he was given shatr jamal al-makhluqat. He was given half of the beauty of the creation, including the mountains and the water and all the beauty things. Now, you have this little son, this little boy who just grew up, and now you have this beautiful woman, the wife of the king. And also keep in mind that the king has a lot of money, he will probably get the most beautiful woman. Now what did he say? قال معاذ الله. He said, no, I can't do this. إنه ربي أحسن مثواي إنه لا يفلح الظالمون. Now, in the fifth page of the surah, Yusuf goes through another problem where he goes to jail and he ends up in there. Now also, brothers and sisters, don't forget about Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam, who's also going through a lot of problems, and he's crying. He's asking people to go ahead and find Yusuf. And he said, لا تيأسوا من روح الله إنه لا يأس من روح الله إلا القوم الكافرون. Do not despair of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and go back and look for Yusuf. You can find him somewhere. He's somewhere. I know. Go find him. Ikhwani fillah, Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam at the end of the day becomes one of the high officials of the government, and his brothers will come to get some stuff from the city, and they don't know if this is Yusuf or not. And he concealed himself from them. He didn't tell them who he is. But now, before they found out who Yusuf was, alayhi salam, Allah tested Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam once again with his other son Binyamin. He was also taken to Egypt, and he was held in there as a prisoner. Now, at the end of the day, when they found out it was Yusuf alayhi salam, and this is where I'm going with this khutbah, what did they say? When eventually they found out it was Yusuf that they were talking to this whole time, what did they say? They said, قَالُوا أَإِنَّكَ لَأَنْتَ يُوسُف. They said, are you Yusuf? أَإِنَّكَ لَأَنْتَ Yusuf. And he said, قَالَ أَنَا Yusuf. He said, yes, I'm Yusuf. وَهَذَا أَخِي. And this is my brother, Binyamin. قَدْ مَنَّ اللَّهُ عَلَيْنَا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us because we had a lot of patience and sabr and perseverance and endurance. And he said three things that are very important for each of us to understand. He said, إِنَّهُ مَنْ يَتَّقِي وَيَصْبِرْ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُضِيعُ أَجْرَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. He said, whoever exercises sabr with taqwa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never waste the reward of those who perform ihsan. So now, for you to go through difficulties, what do we need? We need three things. You have to have sabr, patience. But how do you have patience? The provision, the rizq of patience is taqwa. You have to have taqwa. You have to have a piety. You have to have a clean heart for you to have sabr. So if you have no taqwa, if you don't have consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will never have sabr. That's why in the books of fiqh, if you are trying to look for the topic of sabr, you have to go to aqidah. You have to go to the aqidah section to find sabr. Because sabr has connection with aqidah. So he said, if you have taqwa and you have sabr, you will reach the level of ihsan, perfection. So once you have ihsan, that means you can, do anything. Sabr is going to be easy for you then, inshallah ta'ala. أقول ما تسمعون وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله وكفى ثم الصلاة والسلام سرمدا على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. إخواني في الله, what are the remedies? What are the solution of anxiety and depression? Inshallah, in this khutbah, I'll give you three things, inshallah ta'ala. Number one is, never forget that the one who has chosen for you this problem is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most merciful, Jalla Jalaluh. The second remedy, brothers and sisters, of depression and anxieties is remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who cares for you, is the one who brought you to this world, and He knows what you're going through. Just remember that part. And the last section that you need to remember, brothers and sisters, in Islam is Al-Qadr. Remember, everything that was happening was written for you. It's Qadr, it's destiny from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you have to accept that, inshallah ta'ala. Allah sallu wa sallimu ala man umirtum bis salati wa salami alayh. Inna Allah wa malaikatu yusalluna ala nabi. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تحول به بيننا وبين معصيتك ومن طاعتك ما تبلغنا به جنتك ومن اليقين ما تهون به علينا مصائب الدنيا ومتعنا اللهم بأسماعنا وأبصارنا وقواتنا أبدا ما أحييتنا واجعله الوارث منا واجعل ثأرنا على من ظلمنا وانصرنا على من عادانا ولا تجعل مصيبتنا في ديننا ولا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا ولا مبلغ علمنا ولا غاية أمرنا ولا إلى النار مصيرنا ولا تسلط علينا بذنوبنا من لا يخافك ولا يرحمنا اللهم احسن عاقبتنا في الأمور كلها وأجرنا من خزي الدنيا وعذاب الآخرة اللهم إنا نسألك خير المسألة وخير الدعاء وخير النجاح وخير العلم وخير العمل وثبتنا وثقل موازيننا يوم لا ينفع فيه مال ولا بنون اللهم إنا نسألك الجنة وما قرب إليها من قول وعمل ونعوذ بك من النار وما قرب إليها من قول وعمل اللهم لا تدع لنا في مقامنا هذا ذنبا إلا غفرته اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرته، ولا هما إلا فرجته، ولا مريضا إلا شفيته، ولا معسرا إلا يسرته، ولا ضالا إلا هديته، ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا والآخرة إلا قضيتها يا أرحم الراحمين. إن الله وملائكته يصلون